This is the Wealthy Wednesday Show with your host, Luci McMonagle, a money manifestor, coach, and public speaker who's on a mission to helping you create more wealth in your life and business. This show will inspire and empower you with various topics and has expert guests. Let's welcome your host, Luci McMonagle.
Welcome to the Wealthy Wednesday Show. This is your host, Luci McMonagle. The Wealthy Wednesday Show is for creative women entrepreneurs who want to have more money, more freedom, and more joy in their life. You can get a hold of me at my website, lucimcmonagle.com. That's LuciMcMonagle.com. And you can download your free gift on my website and find out more information about me. Now, today we have a very incredible and dynamic guest that I handpicked especially for you as my guest because I know you really want to make more money in your life and in your business. And we have Cozette M. She is a dynamic and results-driven executive with over 15 years of rock-solid experience in corporate America and managing her own accounting and financial planning firm. She possesses strong skill sets in areas of accounting, finance, business management, payroll, taxation, leadership development, and employee relations. Now, she is absolutely confident that her extensive background in senior management and her philanthropy incentives are her authorship will bring strategic perceptions to you as my listeners. And she is going to be talking to you about money because she's also known as the money coach that empowers individuals and businesses to take control of their financial future so that they can provide a financial legacy to their families. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Luci. Thank you for having me. I kindly appreciate this.
Absolutely. This is so exciting. I mean, my tribe, the individuals who are listening to my show, that's one of their main goals of being a creative entrepreneur is to create a legacy and have an impact on the world. And you really train individuals up as the money coach. You're a lot different than me as an abundance coach. So could you tell us a little bit on how individuals can take their financial mess and bring it up to the pillars of wealth?
Absolutely, absolutely. And you hit the nail right on the head. You know, as business owners, I think we have to have I know we have to have our finances in order. And a lot of times after coaching and going through sessions with my clients, I have to take them a step back to say, hey, we have a problem, and we dive in at the mindset first. That's the first thing that we dive into. And if you think about the mindset, Luci, for a second, you know, you think about what that money story comprises of, and it starts with the mindset. And so I take a deep dive with them to kind of get to what are some of the issues that you're having? Where did some of this stem from? You know, and a lot of times our behaviors that we have with our money stems from experiences maybe as a child or some way where along the way. Even some people stumbled and started having money problems as an adult for whatever reasons. I've run across all types, and I'm sure you have as you speak on abundance and money and wealth. You know, we find that it started somewhere and it began to be a problem. So I take a step back when I'm consulting my clients to say, hey, we're having problems in this area. Either your sales or they're at a standstill, they're fluctuating, or you're not operating in a you're not operating with purpose. So what's really the problem? So that's where I start at, just so that we know we're clear to those of you that are out there listening.
Wow. So you tell us a little bit about you personally. How did you transition from being in the corporate America and managing your own accounting and financial planning firm? Can you tell us a little bit on how you brought that into becoming the money coach?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I was always that individual that was a foot in the door as the corporate individual and a foot out the door as the corporate individual. But in my earlier career, I had a desire to do income taxes, and it started out just as a hobby, and then I started having individuals continuously ask me to do returns, and it grew into something that I wasn't expecting. I started doing workshops at tax season time for different multi-level marketing companies, sales directors, and things like that. And so all of a sudden, in a matter of one season, my business grew about 150%. So it was at that point when I said, am I ready to step out of corporate? And so I wasn't quite ready for that transition because, as you know, income tax season is seasonal. But I needed something to do 24/7, 365 days out of the year. So I took a step back and began to analyze, how can I help the community? How can I help clients? How can I help other businesses grow based on the skill set and the knowledge that I learned in corporate America? I worked with Fortune 500 companies, helped with portfolios, IPOs. We had inventory levels extremely high and working capital. So I said, how can I bring that and do my own thing, start my own business? And once I began to put a plan in place and strategies in place, then that's when I made that transition from corporate into my own organization. And it just began to grow. And then it grew into another segment because individuals started asking me, how do you set up a business? How do I get my profits to grow? How do I even set up a business? So that's when we started another segment, which is the My Financial Home.
Wow. That is so crucial that you pointed out that you decided to make a plan. You asked individuals and you asked yourself, how can I be of service? How can I help other businesses? How can I help other people? And that's really the whole entire point of being in business, is to help other individuals so that they can grow. And when you help other people, they automatically help you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And once I got that under my belt and realized that, it wasn't about me, it was really about giving back to the community, giving back. And I'm going to say that my target market, and it's women. So once I started giving back, then the business just started growing because I'm passionate about what I do, and I'm sincere about helping individuals, whether they're business owners or just their personal finances, get them out of the mess. Get them out of the mess and start growing their money so that they can leave a legacy for the next generation. Because, as you know, Luci, women are, in a lot of households, are the sole provider, or either there's a lot of single women out there. So it's really important to get rid of the financial mess and build a legacy that will last for decades and decades. So I'm very passionate about it.
Fabulous. And that's really important as the listeners listening to this, is understanding that if you want to build a legacy, you really have to understand, how do you think about money? That's your money mindset. What is creating a financial mess, if you're in a financial mess, and really looking at ways that you can improve yourself. And you, as a money coach, you use affirmations, or you talk about affirmations. Can you explain a little bit on what made you start using affirmations for the money mindset, and how does this work with individuals who are in a financial mess, who are ready to start going to the next level and straightening out that monster that they might have in their money closet.
Absolutely. Well, if you think about the word itself, affirmation, affirm, you're affirming what it is that you want. And one thing that I talk about when I'm coaching my individuals is that a lot of times, when we think about that money story, we have a lot of self-talk. And, I ask you, how many of you that are listening, how many of you do the self-talk? You get in the car and you have these subconscious conversations with yourself. You don't answer, but you have these conversations. So a lot of times they're negative conversations. So if you want to see things change, and we're talking about, your financials here, your financial responsibility, if you want to see your wealth grow, if you want to see your savings grow, you have to affirm what it is that you want. So when you do your affirmations, and I usually say, write about 5 affirmations. Post those affirmations throughout the house. Maybe even post one on your dashboard in the car or somewhere where you can visually see it. And that way you're visually seeing it each and every day, and you are affirming what it is that you want. And if you visually see it, then it's visually going to come to you. Subconsciously, you're probably thinking, well, I don't see it happening. But believe me, I say things such as, I am a money magnet. Money arrives in my mailbox on a daily basis. And when you begin to say those things over and over and over, they come to fruition. I have a book that will be released earlier in the year, 2017. It's all about 30 days of affirming what you want. Affirmations, it's going to be called Wealth, Prosperity, and Abundance. So it's affirming what you want. And I guarantee you, listeners, if you affirm it, if you make it clear, if you state it, then it will come into your space. Exactly. And another thing, I'm sorry, on the affirmations, vision boards are key, you all. Vision boards, you're seeing it, you're visualizing it, and you're passing by it every single day. And just the notion of seeing it, it's going to happen. So affirmations and vision boards are critical. They're key. If you want to see some type of change, whether it's your money, whether it's spiritually, whether it's health, whether it's in your business, whatever it is, affirm it and do those vision boards.
Wow. And vision boards are so beautiful. I'm actually staring at my vision board on the other side of my computer for 2016. Mm-hmm. And vision boards have really been a cornerstone for me accomplishing what I desire. And I didn't put a lot of stock into them several years ago. Mm-hmm. And so as listening to you and also having my own experiences, even if you just start with a little pocket vision board, ladies, just something that you can look at, maybe have a little sheet of paper that you can tape somewhere when you're at the office. I have a little pocket vision board that I have in my purse, so whenever I open up my wallet, I see it.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be gigantic. It can be something small and clever, or it could be something big and posted on the walls. It's really up to you on how you want to use your creativity to start deciding what to choose to change. And, most studies show that 61% of Americans cannot come up with $2,000 in 30 days to cover an emergency. And so as you being a money coach, can you explain a little bit on what do you believe is the case in this, and how has that happened where we, in the past, we didn't have credit cards, we didn't have any other means of getting money unless you got a bank loan or you had to save it. And now people they don't have any savings. You explain on how this has changed.
Yes, and that's really bad statistics. I just think that it comes from being in a state of lack, a state of just not thinking enough of yourself to save. I just don't know how an individual cannot cannot come up with such a small amount of money in such a it's really a short period of time. But it's all about the habits that we develop, the habits that we form. And again, that goes back to the mindset, the habits that were formed growing up. And a lot of times what I see, Luci, is, as you may or may not know, in schools, finance one-on-one or savings is not a subject matter that is taught. It's something that as parents, as leaders in the community, as mentors, as coaches, it's one of those things that we have to continuously educate individuals on what it means to save. What does it truly mean to pay thyself first? And if we as consumers learn to pay ourselves first, then there's that possibility that some individuals may find themselves moving away from that statistic of not having $2,000 in the event of an emergency. Because if you're paying yourself first, you're putting aside, I always say 10%, but for some that's not suitable, that's not doable. So if you can't put away the 10%, start with 5%. And if 5% doesn't work with you, start at 3%. But you must do something, listeners. You must do something. If you're a business owner, you should still take 10% of your sales and be putting it away in some type of savings. That you still must pay yourself first as a business owner. There's 401k plans available for the business owners. And we know if you're working a job, that most employers offer some type of retirement plan for the employees. So get in the habit of putting money away and saving so that you don't become what I say a statistic, or when those, I don't like to say rainy days, I say sunny days. When those sunny days come, you have something that you can fall back on. Credit card debt is at an all-time high. And so you don't want to always rely or fall back on a credit card, because if you can't afford to pay it back in full or at all the next month, then it's just not a great way to utilize your funds. You're paying higher interest rates. You're not really saving. So I'm not a big fan of credit cards, let's say that. I'm more on saving and putting it away and having something readily is the key, readily available in these situations.
Exactly. And for my opinion on credit cards is, I have a credit card that pays me 1 to 5% back.
Mm-hmm.
I pay off the balance at the end of the month, and at the end of the year, I have a very nice vacation for free.
Right.
And that's not, I don't use that money as to pay me. I kind of use it as my fun money. And looking at using it like that is been a way that's worked for me since I was a little younger.
That's a really great idea. And if you are going to use the credit card, like Luci just said, use it to your advantage. Use it such that maybe you're gaining frequent flyer mileage. Maybe you're using it when you go to the gas station, when you go to the grocery store, and it's a reward. The credit card company is rewarding you for each dollar that you spend. They're giving you something back, in whether it's quarterly, annually, however frequently, but get something back from them. And even places such as the Staples and the office supply companies, for those of you again that are business owners, they have reward points as well. I know when I turn in my cartridge, I get, reward points, and every quarter I get a check from Staples because I've recycled my toner and my cartridges. So look into the things that are going to benefit you and provide you with some incentives to use the store's credit card, but you get something out of it as well. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yes, and that's one of my favorite tips that I enjoy giving individuals who they may not have a good credit, or they may not have any credit, not because they haven't been good with money, but because they don't believe in credit cards. But if you use it towards your advantage, you can increase your credit score, you can get more money back. I'm
Right.
not advocating that you should get one. That is not what I'm advocating. But if you have them, use them to your advantage. That's all I'm
Exactly.
saying. Now, the downside of that is sometimes when individuals get them, they get themselves into a financial mess. And for you help individuals get out of their financial mess and to get more into a stability so that they can start growing their business, creating a legacy, and start saving money. Can you
Right.
talk a little bit on how individuals get into this financial mess and what can they do to either get out of it or prevent themselves from getting into it in the first place?
All right, absolutely. First of all, I think if you find that you are in a financial mess, the number one thing you need to do is first acknowledge that you realize that you've gotten yourself into a financial mess. And then once you realize that, I think we as individuals, we must take full responsibility, accountability, and ownership for the problem that we've gotten ourselves into. And that may mean stepping outside of your boundaries and getting advice from a mentor, a coach, or someone such as that. But what I do, I take individuals through exercises, and all of my clients that come to me with this particular problem, we go through the same exercises. Of course, we talk about the mindset, but then we take a really deep dive, Lucy, into their financials. And and I'm talking about from the personal standpoint, we look at all of their outstanding debt. We look at the interest rates that they're paying. We look at the total balance. We look at all the income that is coming into the household, whether it's a single household or dual sources of income coming in. And from there, we take, here's your income. This is everyone that you owe. Once we get to that bottom line, we determine if there's a surplus or if there's a deficit. If there's a surplus, then we work with them to determine how we're going to pay off the creditors. We either look at the creditors with the larger balances, or we take the approach in looking at the creditors with the highest interest rate. I usually allow my clients to decide. I give them incentives or scenarios for each one, but I let them decide. Some want instant gratification, so they will choose one method over another. That's if they have a surplus. If they have a deficit and they're just not sure how they're going to continue to pay off their debt, then I talk to them about other sources of other ways to bring in income. And that's when I lean towards starting a business, using your passion to turn it into profits. You know, we all have something that we love to do, whether it's, you go to the cookout and everyone says the barbecue is good, or you bring the donuts and they say, oh, or the cupcakes, oh, you bake those taste delicious. So everyone has a passion, and I educate my clients on turning that passion into a profit to generate additional income. Sometimes it's a hard sell to get them to turn that profit into a passion, or that passion into a profit. But that's the technique that I use. And there's so many ways I can spend an hour or so going over the different ways that we as individuals can make money just off of our passion. I mean, you look at me for an example. I've been in finance accounting all my life. I turned what I love to do, my passion, into profit by helping the community, by helping others, and I love it. So that's how I help individuals get out of the mess. But it starts with being clear, devising a plan. And when I say a plan, I mean a smart plan, one that is very specific, one that's measurable, attainable, realistic, and there's a timetable set. Once we devise that plan, and it's a smart plan, then we need to execute. Execution must take place. If we don't execute the plan, then it's not going to work. If I say, okay, Lucy, we've put together all of your outstanding debt. You're going to pay off company XYZ by March 2017. The next one, April 2017. I've given you the plan. We've discussed it. Now I want you to go and execute it. I want you to be the owner of it. I want you to take personal accountability for it, and I want you to drive it home. That's what I would like for you to do. So that's how I work with my clients, and the success rate is great when I work with them. I'm a people person as well, and just, I have that, I don't know, that skill, that's unique and just in working with my clients. So it really works. But as you know, it's a head-heavy subject, a head-heavy matter. So you have to it's emotional. So you have to get to the root cause of it. And once you discover what the root cause, then the door is open.
Exactly. And when you can get to the root cause, you can really understand what's truly been holding you back from taking your passion or taking the step out, or if you've been in the corporate world but you're completely miserable and you truly want to do something else, getting to the core of your money story will also alleviate so much suffering that's from the inside and things that you're not even aware of. And money is one of the top subjects that individuals are staying awake at night with. Well, so we would love it if you could sleep well at night, not waking up at some crazy hour, worried about your finances, concerned about what are you going to do. And if you listen to Cortez and you do a smart plan, you set it up and you execute it, not just write it down, but execute it, you can really start alleviating any financial mess you may have been and taking baby steps, congratulating yourself for each little step you take too. So we're almost finished with the interview, and it's been so fast. But I'm so grateful you've been on here. Can you tell us what other strategies that you might recommend to our listeners that might be struggling with their finances?
I think, and I touch base on them, but I think you just want to make sure that you accountability. That's the number one. Accountability. Admit that you have the problem, and once you realize it, reach out for a coach. Don't be ashamed. Don't feel like you're laying out all your laundry, because we as financial coaches, we as financial individuals, believe it or not, I've probably seen and heard everything. Even from, I had one client, you all, and when they came to me for coaching, they said, well, they didn't even say he or she. They just said, we have about 200 pair of shoes that are in storage. And so my inclination was to look at the woman, the wife, but it wasn't the wife. It was the husband. And in going and getting to the root cause of it, you all, he stated, well, when I was growing up, we were poor. I didn't have a lot of money. My parents didn't buy me a lot. And I committed to myself that when I graduated from college, I was going to put myself in a position to buy any and everything that I wanted. So my response to him was, because he had a four-year-old son, was, what example are you showing to your child? So getting back to your question, full circle, what are some other strategies? Number one, admit. Number two, seek a mentor, seek a counselor. And number three, just make sure that once you have that plan in place and you've executed the plan, make sure that you're monitoring the plan. Make sure that you are staying on top of your budget that you're going to put together on a monthly basis. It's nothing worse than putting together a budget just to look at the numbers or to say that you went through the process and not monitor it every month. Those are simple steps. And a budget, you all, let me say a quick and easy way just to do your budget. Even if you don't want to do it formal, put it in an Excel spreadsheet or use mint.com or some of the other apps that are available to us at our fingertips. A clean sheet of paper, write down your income, write down your expenses, and there you have what's extra. But a true budget is going to look at, here's what I planned, here's what I spent. oh my gosh, where did I mess up? Where did I mess up? How come I went out and ate with my girlfriends every weekend and I shot my budget? I didn't put entertainment in there. But if you live by a budget, then you will see that getting out of the financial mess will soon transition and transform the way you feel about money, you think about money, and your savings account will start growing, ka-ching, ka-ching, you know? So those are just basic, what I call basic strategies for any one that's looking to clear up their personal finances. And for our business owners, I take you through a much deeper strategy session for looking at your KPIs, looking at your metrics, looking at what's holding you back from growing with your sales. Maybe your pricing strategies are not where they should be. You know, maybe you're charging too less. Maybe you're charging too much. Maybe you're in the wrong market. Maybe your target audience is, you know, you're focusing on the wrong audience. So there's a number of different strategies that I use with my business clients to determine what it is that has got us in this financial mess. Why are we operating in the red on a monthly basis? Why are our sales fluctuating? What's going on? We want to be flat, or we want to continuously grow. We want our margins to grow, our profits, and we want them to grow substantially. So those are some of the things that I work with my business clients with. Besides your P&L, your balance sheet, your statement of cash flow, I help you get down to growing the business, determining where you are lacking.
Wow. And you also have a free gift to individuals.
I do.
For them. Can you tell us a little bit about your free gift and how can they get a hold of that?
Absolutely. There's a couple of them. I have a free ebook for you all. The free ebook is Smart Finances for Smart People. Just like all of you that are listening today, and for anyone that listens in the future, you can download the book. It's a free ebook. I'm going to give you a number that you can call in, and I think Luci will have the link for you as well. But the number to get your free ebook, all you need to do is text the word finances to 805-716-89, ooh, I drew a blank, 805-716-8972. I just drew a blank, you all. But yes, Luci will definitely post the link as well in case maybe the senior moment I'm having. But either way, it's a great, easy read, basic steps for all of you that you can take and put into place immediately to help you get out of your financial struggles, okay? You will love it, and I encourage you to leave any comments, tips, or anything you have after you've downloaded the book, okay?
Wow, that is so incredible. So thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you.
I sincerely appreciate this moment to share my knowledge, my skill set, my tips with your audience. It's been an awesome hour.
It has been an incredible time. So thank you for being on the show, and I want to thank my audience. I want to thank you for listening to the Wealthy Wednesday show. Thank you for letting me know what topics you want to listen to. You can always go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Wealthy Wednesday Show. You can like our page. You can let us know what topics you would like. If you're interested in sponsoring the Wealthy Wednesday Show, we are opening our doors for new sponsors. You can get a hold of me personally. Go to my website at lucimcmonagle.com. Just click on the button for Wealthy Wednesday, or you can click on the button on Contact Us and send me a message stating that you would like to sponsor the Wealthy Wednesday show. We reach approximately 20,000 individuals, so your sponsorship will reach many individuals, and we focus solely on creative women entrepreneurs who desire to have more money, more joy, and more freedom in their life. So thank you for listening, and until next time, abundant blessings.
Thanks for listening to the Wealthy Wednesday Show with Luci McMonagle. That's on every Wednesday. Join us next time for more inspiration and empowerment from various topics and expert guests. To personally contact Luci McMonagle, visit LuciMcMonagle.com. That's LuciMcMonagle.com. Until next time, many blessings.